So how did TF2 get its art style? Well, I gotta remember, step back. Gotta remember that this was the original 1999 version of TF2. See a little TF2 stuff up there. When actually we were pitching this one E3 Game of the Year award, and it was all smoke and mirrors. And so when we were pitching TF2 to Gabe, I pointed out when it wasn't going well and he wasn't going to approve it. I pointed out that it could be the only game ever that won the E3 Multiplayer Game of the Year award in 2 separate millennia. I don't know if he was crying or laughing, but he kind of put his head down on the desk and sobbed. Right, and of course, this is eventually what TF2 became. And so how'd you get there? Well, I think you can go online. I can't find all the images right now, and I can't find the talk. There's a good talk by Moby Frank, who was kind of the artist behind that, that really kind of drove that. There were quite a few artists. I don't mean to discount everybody else involved, but I think he was kind of the driver. And it went from the very military style to like this kind of weird World War II style. I think Dobby was on that as well. And like there was all the artists just kept working on it, and they were given the free reign to have it not connected to gameplay, but just kind of find the thing. And the whole thing was like, look at the game and know that that is TF2. And so it was really fun to watch. Like I stole some of the concept art. I think it's in the storage space. It's like one of the few things I'm not very person who saves a lot of things, but that is something I did save. And so you can watch this kind of art arc, and there's a lot of it online. You can go search online of this, where it goes from this kind of place where it didn't know what it wanted to be, but it didn't want to be the hardcore military, but it wanted to be something else. And during this time, we would go into these meetings and we were pitching the backstory for what the game was. And it was this craziness. It was like, it's 2 sets of brothers and they're twins and they're in hell. And like, it's human cockfighting, which I know wood cockfighting is, but it was funny that way. Then we saw cockfighting. We never wanted that comparison again. But there was just a lot of iteration. There's a lot of space. Like when people complain about like speed of things, this was given enough time to breathe. There's a lot of false starts on stuff. There was a lot of art kind of getting thrown around, and then it just really came together. And I think it is, Moby has a video somewhere. I couldn't find it, talking about some of the process and what the goals were. But again, they worked with goals and like had this what they wanted to be, but then they just worked their way to it. And it was funny to me is, as the writer on this and pitching these crazy ideas, is we just kept in the land of insane often, because that's kind of where me and Eric lived. And the art kind of slowly got that way, and then we kind of got less insane, but it's still insane. And like together, there's this space that I just remember just all of a sudden feeling like it all coming together and all working. And it was that 1960s kind of spy thriller. And I don't remember who suggested that. And then we just suggested not having a backstory, really, of not trying to justify why there's 2 scouts in the world if there's 2 scouts. It's just the way it is. And people accept it, right? And it's always that one of those learnings of like, you don't have to explain everything. Just people accept it. Yeah, it was a really fun, good time and good process of that. And it was actually sometime during that I started on Left 4 Dead, and I split my time between that. And you want to talk about wanting to go into work every day? When your work is like you're either working on TF2 or you're working on the first Left 4 Dead, yes, good times. I also episode 1 and Portal. So yeah, I worked a lot of hours, but it was just like, my God, how would you not want to go in during those times? It's great.